about this upcoming Christmas celebration.
You'll see this Saturday on the far right, EDL and other people turning up on Saturday causing legitimate fears. People are worried. Muslims are worried about Islamophobia. They are frightened. What the government should be doing is addressing those fears, bringing people together, rather than making sweeping generalizations and reinforcing stereotypes.
So for Sadiq Khan, this wasn't a glorious Christmas gathering. It was the far right. It was the EDL, that's the Radical Right English Defense League. It was extremists gathering together to frighten and intimidate Muslims. Frighten and intimidate Muslims by the public singing of Christmas carols. Speaking of, Khan attended his own Christmas tree lighting ceremony some days before that. Maybe he was still traumatized by it. He was caught looking incredulous while realizing the lyrics he was singing.
The Quran and I knew Islam, and I didn't know the Bible and I didn't know Christianity. As I started understanding the Bible, when the pastor done lessons with me for the life of Jesus, I understood that Jesus would have stood against the establishment. Bob's masculine Christianity.
Imagine a world where belting out Silent Night in a public square gets slapped with the far-right label, where honoring the birth of Jesus is twisted into some kind of threat. Well, folks, that's not a dystopian tale. It's the reality unfolding in London under Muslim Mayor Sadiq Khan.
In 15 years of activism, hundreds of demonstrations, hundreds of gatherings, this is the most beautiful moment I've had in my life as an activist. The church leaders stood and opposed us. That drove me away from Christianity. In fact, I hated the church for them betraying us. We, all of us, were their lost sheep. The way they've acted.
It all started when British activist Tommy Robinson, fresh from his battles for free speech, announced a heartfelt Christmas gathering in central London's Whitehall. Organized by the group Unite the Kingdom, it wasn't about politics or protests. No, this was a pure celebration, filled with carols, Bible readings, festive music, glow sticks, Santa hats, and families coming together to put Christ back into Christmas.
Rise up that are just out on the streets just seeing it as it is, and if it wasn't for stations like 2CTV and various other sort of free media stations, I think Britain would be in a lot worse state than it is. People are actually feeling like finally I don't feel like the only insane one in the room. There's some people that are reporting on what's going on and I can see the bigger picture, so I think it's really important, and I think it's disgusting that a lot of these journalists are being demonetized because on what grounds? They're only just merely reporting what's going on.
People are coming to protests like Unite the Kingdom and today's event more frequently and in bigger numbers. How can that translate to change, and how can we get a genuine reform in the UK political system?
So that's a big question. So I think people are here for different reasons. Again, a lot of people on the left thinks it's all about racism or it's all about immigration. It's not. It's actually the very heart of our nation we believe is disappearing. And what is the heart of that nation? Well, part of the backbone to...
The convener, Robinson, emphasized unity and faith, calling on Christians to proudly reclaim their heritage in a nation that's increasingly secularized.
Hey, Canon Phil here. As we approach Advent this coming Sunday, I want to talk to you about a special event called Putting the Christ Back into Christmas. It isn't a vague winter festival. It's the celebration of a fact. God came near. Jesus Christ, born of the Virgin Mary, the light of the world, the Saviour of sinners, the King that we actually need. And on Saturday the 13th of December near Downing Street in London, we're gathering for the Unite the Kingdom Christmas Carol event. Carols you know and love, with scripture readings and biblical messages woven in between the songs. Faith, hope, and a future for our nation with Christ at the centre. If you're tired of politics without purpose and Christmas without Christ, come and sing truth in the heart of our capital. Join us, bring a friend, and let's put the Christ back into Christmas. I'll see you there.
Invitations poured in from pastors, singers, and community leaders. Those in attendance shared their excitement about performing carols to remind everyone Jesus is the season's heart.
Look, I am not against Islam. I love my religion, but I love it when it's loving, when it's about peace. There's so much agitation. The Mayor of London is constantly going on about Islamophobia. What about Anglophobia? What about Christianophobia? What about all these other phobias? Why aren't people talking about it? Why do the white man has to always have the stiff upper lip, so that he doesn't get called racist?
What do you mean by he needs a stiff upper lip?
Because, they can't talk. Why does a white man has to always have a stiff upper lip? Why do they have to always be the bigger person? How about they think about their rights?
What's your background, if I'm asking?
Iraq. Yeah.
So Tommy Robinson stands for British identity, I suppose, where nobody else is claiming our culture. Our culture's been put aside.
We believe that the country needs Christianity back. We're not believers ourselves as such, but we believe in the Christian values of England, and the way that the country is going, it's just been diminished fast. So I think that for the country to get back to normality, we need to get the Christian values back.
The event aimed to reawaken Britain's historic Christian identity, drawing on the nation's deep roots. Think cathedrals, hymns, and holidays that shaped Western civilization. But just as the plans were spreading, opposition was brewing.
Is the reason that churches are empty. But when I went to prison, I met a pastor, and betrayed by the church and away from Christianity. As I knew the Quran and I knew Islam, and I didn't know the Bible and I didn't know Christianity. But as I started understanding the Bible and the pastor done lessons with me for the life of Jesus, I understood that Jesus would have stood against the establishment. Bob's masculine Christianity. I thought, now I'm listening. I think Bob, you probably opened so many eyes.
London's Mayor Sadiq Khan, the first Muslim to hold the office since 2016, went public with warnings. In interviews, he lumped the gathering with far-right groups like the English Defence League EDL, claiming it could spark trouble and frighten Muslims amid rising Islamophobia fears. Khan urged unity but framed the event as divisive, echoing his past criticisms of Robinson.
You'll see this Saturday on the far right, EDL and other people turning up on Saturday causing problems. I think that there's a responsibility on politicians, particularly senior politicians, to address people's legitimate fears. People are worried, Muslims are worried about Islamophobia, they are frightened. What the government should be doing is addressing those fears, bringing people together, rather than making sweeping generalizations and reinforcing stereotypes.
So for Sadiq Khan...
Ironically, Khan himself attended the Trafalgar Square tree lighting earlier in December, looking visibly uncomfortable while the crowd sang "Glory to the Newborn King," lyrics praising Jesus as Lord. Social media buzzed with clips of his awkward expression, highlighting the tension between his role and Christian traditions.
So there you go.
This wasn't isolated. Khan's administration has faced scrutiny for prioritizing multicultural events while downplaying traditional Christian ones, like in 2024 when City Hall's Christmas lights featured more neutral themes amid diversity pushes. Even the Church of England hierarchy distanced itself from it.
We're going to stand up for our faith and stand up for Christianity. There's nothing far right about that at all, or exclusive.
The head of the Church of England is King Charles. Do you think he does enough to promote Christianity in the country and on the world stage?
So I think it comes down to optics with King Charles, in that it looks like, perception-wise, he's doing more for Islam than he is for Christianity. So I would say, as the king, the head of the state of the Church of England, I'd say he's, from my point of view, doing a bad job at promoting Christianity.
We've seen citizen journalists being arrested more frequently and even demonetized. What would the landscape of citizen journalism be if Elon Musk hadn't bought Twitter? Where would we be now?
I think the fact that X came under Elon Musk, it's opened the floodgates for free speech, really, for people to say what they want to say. And that's not always nice, what they say, but it's actually allowed these...
Bishops issued statements calling the event a potential exploitation of faith for far-right causes, urging that Christmas is for all. The Archbishop of Canterbury's office released a video emphasizing inclusivity, amid fears of associating with Robinson's past EDL ties.
The country needs Christianity back. We're not believers ourselves as such, but we believe in the Christian values of England, and the way that the country is going, it's just been diminished fast. So I think that for the country to get back to normality, we need to get the Christian values back.
I see the people around me as just genuinely heartfelt English people who are patriotic, and English people are so kind. I mean, I'm English, I was born in England. English people are very, very tolerant, and I feel we've reached a level now where things are beginning to come out because things are happening that are just beyond what we can tolerate.
Critics saw this as the church bending to woke pressures, ignoring its own declining attendance, down 30% in recent decades per church stats, while everyday believers craved revival. Undeterred, organizers pressed on to host the Christmas event.
I see the people around me as just genuinely heartfelt English people who are patriotic, and English people are so kind. I mean, I'm English, I was born in England. English people are very, very tolerant, and I feel we've reached a level now where things are beginning to come out because things are happening that are just beyond what we can tolerate.
I got a WhatsApp from my daughter, said there's an anti-fascist rally, the fact that it was countering the putting the Christ back in the Christmas Tommy Robinson thing, which is absolutely ridiculous when Jesus was a refugee, and if you were a proper Christian, you'd have some sense of morality and you'd look after people and have some humanity.
I think we're here because Christmas is supposed to be a time of joy, of celebrating, of coming together and getting united, and instead it's being co-opted in the name of hate and in the name of racism, and that's not what Christmas should be about. So we just wanted to show up and say, yeah.
Exactly. I think it's Jesus was a refugee. I'm not personally very religious. We're also both here because we both sing in choirs, and we hate to see like the carols and the culture and everything that we love getting kind of taken by the other side and, you know, co-opted to disguise something that's really kind of ugly and hateful.
Yeah.
And we want to show up and say that that's not what it's about.
On December 13th, under a crisp winter sky and heavy police presence, about 1,000 patriots gathered peacefully in Whitehall. No riots, no hate, just hymns like "O Holy Night," prayers for the nation, and Bible readings. Families, veterans, and children waved glow sticks, creating a magical scene. Hour of them all, a young girl stole the show with her heartfelt speech.
Hello all, I would like to say Merry, Merry Christmas. God is watching, very, very proud of us as we all stand today. I am very, very grateful of Tommy Robinson for organising this. Otherwise, I would not have hope in our patriots to do this today. All I want to say is God is in our veins, whether you like it or not. God gives us adrenaline. Wherever we are, God gives us adrenaline. God is with us. Wherever you like it, wherever you are, pray to God and he'll come to you, and he will enter your life, and he will save your life. Amen.
Police confirmed no incidents took place at the event, per Metropolitan Police reports, that directly contradicting Khan's warnings. Robinson also declared it an annual tradition, potentially drawing crowds from across Europe.
What a year 2025 was. Lots happened. I spent nearly 6 months of it locked on solitary confinement inside Wood Hill. But still, when coming out of Wood Hill, we managed to pull off the biggest event in British history, Unite the Kingdom. It's never been done in those numbers, in our capital city, and what a day, and we're just getting started. What else happened? We exposed the judiciary. Oh no, not the judiciary. I was charged with counter-terrorism, and I got a not guilty. Thank you, Elon Musk. We have fought back, we have built a community that's waiting. Everyone's been waiting for the next event. What will 2026 hold? It's going to be exciting. I'm going to produce multiple documentaries in 2006. We're going to beat the last event in September 13th. We are building a mass movement, the fight back is on. I'm excited about 2026. What I don't want is to end up back in jail. That's my one wish. If I had one wish now for next year, it's do not get locked up on solitary confinement. So I'm going to do everything I can not to. I'm going to travel.
This triumph echoes a rising tide in Europe. Civilizational populism reclaiming Christian roots against globalist erosion. Leaders like Italy's Giorgia Meloni defend faith as Europe's foundation, banning practices seen as separatist.
Io sono Giorgia, sono una donna, sono una madre, sono italiana, sono cristiana, non me lo toglierete! Non me lo toglierete!
Hungary's Viktor Orban also builds Christian democracy, fencing off borders to preserve identity. France's Marine Le Pen argues French secularism stems from Christianity, warning against Islam's lack of church-state separation.
We're steps from Downing Street. Keir Starmer and the Labour government can't ignore the people anymore.
And a message for the people of Southampton?
The message for the people of Southampton: stand up. Dare to stand. Be bold, be strong, and know you're the reason this country changes.
Merry Christmas.
And to you.
I'm here with
Reverend Chris Wickland from Living Word Church in Portsmouth.
A Church of England bishop has called this event far right and exploiting Christian symbols for a populist movement. What do you think about that?
I think it's complete nonsense. We're not here as a political movement, we're here to celebrate the birth of Christ. But what's interesting is if you look at all the newspapers this week where bishops have condemned what we're doing here today, they've all made it political by saying, you know, Jesus was a refugee. And it's like, what's that got to do with it? This is not what we're here for. We're basically here because we believe that Christianity is being marginalised in this nation.
Khan's smear backfired. Attendance swelled, media covered the peacefulness, sparking debates on faith's public role. It proved elites fear a revived Christian spirit.
Content, we're building our team, but I'm excited. I feel fresh, I feel ready, and I feel optimistic about the year ahead. The mass awakening has happened, the British public are awake, the sleeping lion is rising, and we need you. So make sure you support not just me, but make sure this year you pick citizen journalists, any citizen journalists who are active outside hotels, bringing the news to you, live streaming, because they're going to come under relentless attack, not just me. I want support from me and my team, but I'd also like to see the rise of all independent journalists, all the free media and the free press. So I want to say a massive thank you, because you know the whole time I was in jail this year, the time I spent in prison, I didn't feel on my own. I knew my family are okay. I was ready to come out and fight, and that's because of the support and love that you showed me. So I'm very grateful, and I'm looking forward to this year. Stick with us, yeah? That's a happy new year from me and all of the team at Urban Scoop.
If you believe Sadiq is wrong for thinking carols are now rebellion, kindly hit like and subscribe. Let's keep rebelling. Faith is rising.